All right, what is going on, guys? This weekend is UFC 307, Alex Pereira versus Khalil Roundtree Jr. And I'm going to be rating the pay-per-view portion of this card on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being the worst card ever, 10 being the best card of all time. So let's get right on into it. So scrolling down here, essentially what I'm going to be doing is breaking down the importance of each fight on the card here. And if there was, something better that they could have done, hint, hint, in case of the main event, that would have made it a better grade for me. But anyway, starting off with the first fight of the night, Ketlen Vieira versus Kayla Harrison. This is a very relevant fight for the women's bantamweight division. Their UFC wants to push Kayla Harrison, coming over from the PFL, destroyed Holly Holm in her first fight. Assuming she destroys Ketlen Vieira, which unless, some freak accident happens, is going to happen as well in this fight. They're definitely going to be pushing her to fight the winner of the co-main event, Raquel Pennington versus Juliana Pena. So it is a somewhat, this is a relevant fight. It's almost a number one contender fight. But I think it could have been swapped out. There's a couple different options here. I think one of these two fights could have been swapped out for Stephen Thompson versus Joaquin Buckley, and that would have probably the Roman Dolidze Kevin Holland fight. You probably could have swapped those two. Could have Roman Dolidze and Kevin Holland headline the prelims. I think that would have been a lot better. Stephen Thompson's fought for the belt before on two separate occasions. Buckley, up and coming. And I understand, Kevin Holland's a fan favorite. Roman Dolidze is kind of, I don't want to say he's a nobody, but so I guess we are moving on to the next fight. Kevin Holland and Roman Dolidze. I think it should be headlining the prelims. It's kind of, I don't want to call it a throwaway fight. People just love Kevin Holland. He's willing to fight anyone, anywhere, anytime. This is a middleweight bout. Kevin Holland is kind of here recently. He's been hopping back and forth between welterweight and middleweight. I would prefer if he picked a weight class and tried to progress far in that weight class. At first I thought maybe he would at welterweight. He was starting to go, had a good roll going. But then he suffered that loss to MVP. That ultimately, and JDM, and Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. But this is an okay fight. Again, it doesn't really make sense, a whole lot of sense. You have the 15th ranked welterweight. This is kind of deceiving. They just say 10 and 15. So if people are looking at this, they're going to think Kevin Holland's ranked number 15 in middleweight. He's not. So this is kind of a throwaway fight, I'm going to call it. So that definitely dampers my ranking for this card. And the fact that I think this should be, and that should be swapped. But moving up, Jose Aldo versus Mario Batista. Great fight. I know Jose Aldo's older. He's not as good as he used to be. But he's shown in his last fight, he still has it. Okay, he still has what it takes. Maybe not to be a champion, but I definitely think he should be ranked a lot higher than 10. If I do have the rankings pulled up here. If we look at the rankings real quick, Jose Aldo has wins over Rob Font. He has wins over Marlon Vera. And I think that's it. So, I think he should at least be ranked 7. If not, initially I believe he was ranked 11. And he might have went up a slot. I can't remember when Jonathan Martinez was when he fought him. But, yeah. So I definitely think Jose Aldo could have been fighting someone higher ranked than Mario Batista. And he even in an interview said that he would love to fight Sean O'Malley if he were to get through Mario Batista this weekend. So I am definitely excited for this fight. It's a great fight for a pay-per-view. You have up-and-coming prospect Mario Batista. Hasn't fought the best level opposition, but he's getting ready to get the biggest test of his career in Jose Aldo Jr. Or, is it Jr.? I think it's Jr. So this should be a great fight. Very good. Very good. One of my favorite, most anticipated fights for this card. Moving up, co-main event. Raquel Pennington versus Juliana Pena. Obviously, this is very relevant for the division. It is a title fight, if I can speak. I guess the only gripe, if you will, I have about this is Juliana Pena, all she did was sit out and get a title shot. She got that, I don't want to call it a fluke win, because she, fair and square, she beat Amanda Nunes. Then got absolutely destroyed in the rematch. Absolutely destroyed. Was not competitive. There was not one moment of competitiveness in that fight. If we go look at the rankings, though, the women's bantamweight rankings, honestly, at this point, I would have rather them just given Kayla Harrison a title shot. I know she only beat Holly Holm. Holly Holm's a former champion. She's old. But it would have been way more exciting. It would have been a way more exciting fight if they had Kayla Harrison fight Raquel Pennington at UFC 307 and then have Juliana Pena fight Ketlin Vieira. Why not? So then they could have kept them both on the card. But there's really no clear number one contender. I think Juliana Pena kind of, she sees, since Amanda Nunes is retired, she's trying to be that woman's bantamweight star because they don't really have one. They brought Kayla Harrison over here. She needs to keep winning if she wants to be that big star for the women's bantamweight division, which is very talentless, if you will. So the fight, I'm not happy with the challenger per se, with not winning any fights in between this and her next title shot. But it is a championship fight, so although it'll be the women's bantamweight division, which is probably the worst division in the UFC. So, Moving on. The main event. Alex Pereira versus Khalil Roundtree Jr. I am excited for this fight, but not as excited as if this was Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. Do I think Khalil Roundtree is in exciting fights? Yes, I think he's in exciting fights. He has an exciting fight style, but he wasn't the deserving number one contender. Magomed Ankalaev was. So that dampers me giving this a higher rank. If this was Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev, even with this mid-ass pay-per-view, like these two fights, throw them on the prelims, give me this fight on here, give me this fight on, well, I guess you got to keep Kayla Harrison and Calamita, but put Joaquin Buckley on here, this pay-per-view would have been way better than what it was. And I'm not saying this isn't going to be an exciting fight. I am personally excited for this fight. It's essentially going to be a kickboxing match. That's what it boils down to. Unless someone, throws something crazy out there and does some wild shit. But I don't want to say it's a setup fight because anybody can lose on any given night. It is MMA. Anything can happen. But it's almost looks like a setup fight for Alex Pereira. That's what it looks like. So that kind of dampers it a little bit. Magomed Ankalaev, clear number one contender. And even in a recent interview, Dana White said, if he puts on a good performance in his next fight, he definitely should be next. So if let's just say, Magomed Ankalaev puts on a boring decision, are you saying he doesn't get the next light heavyweight title shot if Alex Pereira were to beat Khalil Roundtree? If we look at the rankings here real quick, who the hell else are you going to give it to? Let's say he beats Rakic. What are they going to just throw Jan back in there with the rematch because, Jan and Alex Pereira's first fight was close. I thought Jan won it. Are they going to give Nikita Krylov a title shot? I can't remember who he's fighting, but he's fighting someone. I can't remember who he's matched up with, but he's matched up with someone in the top 15. It's like Magomed Ankalaev 100% deserves a title shot before he even fought Rakic. It was scheduled to fight Rakic. So that definitely dampers my grade for this UFC 307. So for my official grade for UFC 307, I'm going to be giving it a 4.5 out of 10. Again, the main reasons why would be Khalil Roundtree not really being the number one contender, the deserving number one contender. Juliana Pena getting a title shot off of a loss of Amanda Nunes where she got absolutely destroyed. And then really the Roman Dolidze Kevin Holland fight, how I'm excited for this fight. I'm a fan of Kevin Holland. The Stephen Thompson Joaquin Buckley fight definitely should have been on the pay-per-view. So that is my grade, 6.5. Hopefully, Pereira gets through Khalil Roundtree and we could get him versus Magomed Ankalaev. I would be really excited for that fight. So let me know in the comment section down below, what grade do you guys give this pay-per-view card? If you guys aren't subscribed, make sure and subscribe. Leave a like on this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.